Okay, the last one here, and Obelisk selects a pile at random, which happens to be the sentries in this case. So every card you have from that pile is worth 2 points. So that's your only extra source of points on the board. Other than that, well, there's no village except for using sacrifice on actions. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like you could do a lot on this board, actually. Maybe Magpie is the best thing on the board because maybe you could build a deck with a lot of treasures and a lot of magpies and it'll be like labs. And maybe you could stick a nomad camp in for the plus buy. I don't expect Swamp Hag to be an issue just because of Sentry. Like once you get your deck under control, Sentry can find the curse. Well, no, it can't actually. Never mind. It doesn't work like Witch. So once you don't draw your curse in your starting hand or draw into it off a Sentry, you should be able to trash it. Which that isn't 100% guaranteed actually. Now that I think about it, I thought the Sentry could actually deal with the Swamp Hag quite well, but it can't do it perfectly. It's not like Chapel or something. The Sacrifice would be better for dealing with the curses, actually. So we both go with a Magpie and a Silver. My opponent actually has quite a good turn here. He picks up a Magpie for free off one of his Magpies that missed, gets a Sentry, and buys another Magpie. So that's pretty good for him. I'm able to get something similar. I'm just one Magpie short, which is kind of a big deal. Well, no, not really. I mean, it's just one Magpie. Maybe I can level up the split later on. I mean, sometimes the Magpie split isn't so important, but here I think it's kind of important given that you probably just want to play with treasure. So here, my opponent picks up the Swamp Hag. Now, I didn't agree with it at first. I really think that should have been a second Sentry. And then you could go for the Swamp Hag if you like. But he gets the Swamp Hag. I pick up the Sentry. Well, I do want the Sentry regardless, and it also helps with the Swamp Hag. But look at this turn here. This turn is actually the turning point for my opponent. So all of those Magpies trigger. He trashes both cards revealed with his Sentry and is able to pick up another Swamp Hag while sticking his in play. That's tremendous. That's a real good turn for him. Real good turn. So here, this is a slight misplay. You should play your Sentries before your Magpies, I think, because the Sentries can help line up what is at the top of your deck. So if there's something like, I don't know, Magpie and Treasure, you could organize it so that the Magpie is guaranteed to draw the treasure all the time. Alright, so that's just something to take note of. Slight misplay on my part here. I am gonna trash 2 coppers, not really what I want to be doing. I would much rather trash a state out of my deck. But I have to take what I get. 6 here. The Swamp Hag is active, but I'm gonna pick up a Sentry regardless. It'll help with the trashing anyway. And it's 2 points, right? It's 2 points. So here, this is what I was talking about, right? This Sentry cannot trash this curse now, which is awful. I drew into it and it's going to be stuck in the deck for another turn. And if I buy something here, I'll take another curse. I believe he stuck his Swamp Hag down. I could take the Overlord, but nah. I want money to buy things, really. Money to buy things. So I'm just going to pass my turn here over to my opponent, and he, now with the more Magpies and the better trashing, is able to go through his deck much better. So yeah, look at his Magpies are excellent, right? They drew a bunch. And then his Sentry is able to come on trash. He's almost able to go through his whole deck here. So I am going to be kept under constant Swamp Hag pressure for the majority of this remainder of the game here, which is, yeah, not the greatest thing in the world because I miscalculated or just wasn't smart. I thought the Sentry could do a much better job at the curses, but It can't. It can't. So here I am going to just trash one copper because I don't have any money in my deck. Need to keep some money. And also I want to catch the curse that's at the bottom of the deck. So if I trash both, I would draw into the curse with the Sentry. So I have to reveal it with the Sentry to be able to trash it. So reasons given there for this could be a nomad camp, it could be a silver, it could be another magpie. But what I am gonna do here, I know it's a bit weird. I didn't really like it, but I don't think I have any good options at this point in the game. I'm going to advance this magpie and pick up a nomad camp. The nomad camp has the plus buy in it, right? Maybe I can make use of the plus buy to get more things and come back in the game. I don't know. The advance also gets around the Swamp Hag attack for this turn at least. So that is also something. Maybe there should have been a sacrifice. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. What is my best line in the position I am in here? I mean that one turn, that turn 4 or 5 or something, where those magpies just drew so much, the Sentry's trashed. And he was able to see that Swamp Hag so quickly. That's the turning point. That is the turning point. Or some people say the critical position of the game. Well, it's not really a position, but it's a critical turn of the game. So goal for my opponent, and he's set to go for provinces now, and I'm not. So that is real bad for me. Real bad. I have to find some other way to deal with things, and well, the only other source of points on the board is the sentries. So maybe I could go for those. Still not able to trash things here. Still not able to trash things, but that's fine. I could get a gold myself here. And also I am gonna advance this magpie into a sentry. So now what I am saying is that I'm going to rely mostly on my sentries to find me the good cards in my deck. So the magpie could draw treasures, right? But I don't have many of them now. I just have the one. My opponent has 7 of them. So many magpies. He's not gonna stall ever. Those magpies will eventually hit and find his treasures and whatnot. So now I do have enough money for province, as does my opponent, but I'll have to take curses alongside it, which is not ideal. So here, yeah, this is not a great starting hand, right? Like, I would like to be able to trash this estate and one of these coppers, because I think I have $9 in the deck, so I don't need one of these coppers. This is really not a great starting hand at all. So yeah, like Sentry trashing is kinda, you know, it is not always guaranteed. Then if you could trash 2 cards off your Sentry or trash a card off your Sentry, that is real good. So here, now we're going to play the Magpie, get both of these, and luckily I'm able to trash the curse here. I keep misclicking with this Sentry thing because, well, I'm unaccustomed to the card entirely. I didn't even know what it did, right? Until recently they implemented it. It's a nice card, right? It's like a small cartographer. That is what I'm counting on to get me through my deck and find me the important cards. I will stall eventually. So here I have a couple plays, right? I could go for the province, right? My opponent doesn't have plus buy, right? So if I go head to head with him on the provinces, maybe we could get into a territory where I Dutchy dance and still lose, but I lose in a different fashion. Like maybe he might stall on that turn, like draw 5 green cards. I don't think he has 5 green cards. He can draw 3 green cards and 2 money cards. Just completely die out here. That's one option to go down, right? I do have the money. I can keep up with the provinces if I draw well. I have to draw very, very well. I choose an alternative line here, which is to go for a Sentry and a Caravan Guard. Now I take 2 curses doing that, and I draw one of them here, which is awful. But the Sentry's points, and I was thinking it would help me trash, but like I said before, having more Sentries doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna trash better. And now he takes the second province, and really, I can't go for the provinces now, right? I'll just be behind. If I wanted to go for them, I should have gone for them on the last turn and tried to match his province with one of my own. I think that's the better way to go about things rather than what I did here. This is a nice reveal for the Sentry, but it's a little bit too late in the game. Now I don't have $8 in my deck. Well, if I had triggered the Caravan Guard, I would have, but I didn't, so I don't have $8 in my deck. Right now, I just have what is it, 7, yeah, 7. I can't even go for the province at this point. So what am I going to do? What is my play? I think I'm just lost here, like no matter what I do. I could have gone for the province last turn and tried to keep up with him, but I chose something else, and well, this is also losing. Not that the other line was any less losing. Gold for me here. Um, I have to hope he stalls, but I don't think he will. He has 7 Magpies, and he has these Sentry guys, which could, clear off the top of his deck, set up his Magpies. Yeah, this is lost. This is lost. Another province for my opponent, and these Swamp Hags are becoming very, very annoying. It doesn't help that I keep drawing curses in my starting hand, but I mean, that's just how things go sometimes, right? And you should be aware of it and know that that could happen. Maybe I didn't respect Swamp Hag enough in this game. Maybe that was my issue. So I have 11 and 2 buys, but too little, too late now. I go for a couple. Well, I don't even want to take the last Sentry because then that opens up a 3 pile on the curses. So I just take Sentry and gold here. More curses. Maybe I could, go for double duchy and hope he stalls. He doesn't stall. I don't think it's very likely for him to stall, really. And he's always going to find enough money to pick up province. He didn't get through his deck there, but he still found enough money to get the province going. And yeah, I am just going to resign this game after my opponent's next turn. He's able to get to province again. I don't see a way out. Do not see a way out, and his deck is just too good. Too good. All those Magpies. Just too good for me. Not just he has the province advantage here, but the curses will run, and he can easily buy a Sentry once the curses are out and end the game. So just completely boxed in here. And that's how the match finishes. I had my opportunities in the early games, the one with the Butcher and the one with the Fairgrounds. Complacency and just lack of, finding the right line cost me 1.5 points in this game, and that happened over 2 turns. 2 turns I misplayed and I lost 1.5 points in this match, so that's pretty bad. As it is, I'm standing on 9.5 points from 3 games, which isn't bad, but it isn't good either. So hopefully I could do better next time and make the right plays. Alright, thanks for watching. See you.